Did you realize that without God, and the Bible tells us this, without Him we can do what? Nothing. John 15:5. As he's talking about, we need to abide in Him and depend upon Him. And it says, Jesus says, I am the vine and you are the branches. The one who remains in me, and I in Him, bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. But he says, if we abide in Him, if we live in Him, we connect with Him, abide, then we're going to bear a lot of fruit. And I know we've done sermons and Bible studies on this passage of Scripture, but I think it's interesting. He's talking about all this stuff. He goes, oh, and by the way, apart from me, you can do nothing. Think about it. There's a lot of stuff we can do. But when we're talking about bearing fruit, building on this foundation that's laid, which is Jesus Christ, and then we're building on it. And he goes on in another passage and says, well, some people build with wood, hay, and stubble, and others with gold, silver, and precious stones. Be careful how you build on this foundation. That's what he's talking about here. Without Jesus, we can do nothing. Without Him, all the doing that we do is wood, hay, and stubble. Now, up until a few weeks when we had all this rain, it was so dry out there, we couldn't even have a bonfire at our house, a little cook fire, because they said, no, a rock ring, that does not count. And so it was so stinking dry. That's what it's like if we are building on our own selves. We're doing it in our own strength. Is wood, hay, straw is just going to be gone in an instant. You've seen that, haven't you, Gary? You've seen the effects of that in like Colorado. Things just burned up so quickly. That's what our works are without Jesus. But if we're doing it in His strength, and we're abiding in Him and depending upon Him, and we're doing that work, then it's gold, it's silver, it's precious stones. What makes the difference? How do we know if we're doing it the right way? Well, it boils down to the attitude of the heart. Okay? And it starts from the top down, doesn't it, Jonathan? If I'm up here preaching and I'm like, oh, it's my Sunday to preach, I got to do it again. And guys, I'll confess, there's some times you've heard the story of the guy that, wakes up on a Sunday morning and he's like, man, I just don't feel like it. I'm tired. I don't want to go to church. I think I'm just going to stay home today. Honey, you think they'll miss me? And she was like, yes, they'll miss you. You're the preacher. You got to go. We are not exempt from that, okay? But if we do anything grudgingly for the Lord, guess what? Congratulations on having some wood, hay, and straw. Okay? What's your heart like as you're doing whatever it is that God's called you to do? Whatever that might be. This summer, there's been a lot of working with mission teams and it's been exhausting. I see we got half the tent down. There's some exhausting work that we have to put in. But if we're out there doing it and griping and complaining about it, you may as well just quit and go home. Okay? Without me, apart from me, you can do nothing. That is very humbling. Because sometimes I'm thinking, man, I can do this. I got this. Nope. By nature, I'll let y'all in on a secret. By nature, I am an introvert. I know one introvert just left the room a little bit ago. My buddy Tyler. I know he's an introvert. I am too. To do this when I was in middle school or even high school, man, I'd be sweating bullets. I would dread the oral book reports. Anybody there with me on that? Oh, I would dread that. I would be so scared I'd be sick. And if you would have told me in high school that I would be teaching and preaching in front of people week after week, I would just laugh. Thought, yeah, right. And people ask, say, you're not an introvert. And I say, yeah, I am. And I'm able to function and to do some of these things. And I'll let you know another secret. Every time I get up here, I get nervous. There's that little bit, that twinge of nervousness. And that is a good thing, because it's a reminder to me, apart from me, you can do nothing. If I stand up here on a Sunday morning and say, man, I got this, guess what's going to happen? I am going to fall every time. So I have to work through my introvertedness and my fear of public speaking. But God works through me.